Hello fellow kaiju fans, I am GPTV and welcome back to my channel. Or I guess you could be saying that to me because I've been gone for so long. Which I apologize about, that's due to college of course. But don't worry, daddy's home, so cake every night. So knowing my audience, I'm sure a lot of you guys are aware of the term mogging. It is an ancient term used to describe when someone extremely attractive is placed right next to the exact opposite. I think it was like the Greeks or Romans who came up with it or something. And today I've decided to compare Ultraman Omega and Kamen Rider Zezt. At least I think that's how you say that. I don't know how anyone's supposed to say that actually. It's kind of the stupidest name ever. Toei really took the strangest combination of letters and made it a name. I'd really like to know the thought process behind that. But with the release of Ultraman Omega episode 14, where we see Serato fight the suit actor of Kamen Rider Zezt, I was inspired to make a video where I directly compare Ultraman Omega and Kamen Rider Zezt with various different categories to see which show is better. These categories of course include comparing the Toko heroes themselves, the first episodes of the show, the overall quality of the show, and any other factors to throw in there. So without further ado, let's talk about Ultraman Omega himself. So Ultraman Omega has this little thing about him that's kind of special and sets him apart from even other Ultramen. And I really hate to say it, but it's the fact that he's nonchalant. Take a look at this image of him right here. I really don't know how else to describe it. It's the way he holds himself. Even when he's objectively the less cool monster on screen, as you can see here, him with Valganus, one of the coolest kaiju designs of all time. It's his cadence that really just makes him seem so cool. Like he doesn't feel like he needs to try. Not to mention the Ultra Scope. The Ultra Scope is an absolutely awesome concept. Analyzing your opponents before you fight them, that's just sick. Now you may find Omega's red face a little silly, and this makes sense considering it looks very similar to Ultraman Zezt, who is specifically designed to be a runt Ultraman. However, look at his side profile. Look at that chiseled chin. He's got the jawline of a god. Not to mention his forms. The Rakiness and Trigaron armors look fantastic on him. It's everything I'd want out of an Ultraman form, honestly. We can ignore the Valganus armor. Also, Serato himself. Take a look at him. Need I say more? And then we got Kamen Rider Zezt. Now I know we're all thinking the same thing looking at this. How do you say that? I think it's like Physicom, not 100% sure. Oh, and we're all also thinking he's low-key kind of sexy. But all jokes aside, the design is actually pretty sick. It feels like a perfect modern update to the Rider design. Like if I knew absolutely nothing about Kamen Rider, you showed me what he looked like from the original series, told me they were still making it today, and I saw this is exactly what I would expect. Plus having the belt strapped around his chest is a pretty cool touch, and he looks fantastic at nighttime. As for his other forms, this one looks pretty sick. Put a blonde wig on him and he can go to Agartha. Actually, I guess Omega could too. But I think the design looks pretty sleek. His other two forms are pretty similar, but I just don't really care for the colors as much. And of course there's Kamen Rider Zest's human host, Baku Yorozu, and he's he's a secret agent though, so that's pretty cool. Alright, so those are the two heroes. What about their first episodes? Let's start with Omega episode 1. So Ultraman Omega episode 1 opens with this absolutely fantastic CGI sequence. I think this took like 6 months to render or something. And honestly, it's prestigious if anything. Not to mention the action is super well choreographed as well. Like take a look at this fight here. It's really well done. Also, keep in mind, this is our first introduction to Ultraman Omega himself. What a first impression. I mean, this is exactly the kind of thing I would expect out of a modern Ultraman show. Really pushing the boundaries of the genre. And then we meet our second main character of the show here, Kosei. And then our first introduction to the main hero of the show himself, Serato. And check out how the show does it. He's naked! That's how you do it, man. That is how you do it. Now this is something I really have to give props to the show for. The sets are so filled with things. It feels very lived in and real. In this warehouse here, Kosei and Serato have their first ever meeting, which as you can see goes very well. And then we get a little bit of goofing off with some circus music, Omega's favorite thing to do. Which leads us into the first appearance of the first monster of the show, Grime. and honestly I think he has a fantastic design. Following the attack, a young girl who lost her mother in the confusion comes up to Serato to ask for help. Having the main character of your show, the Ultra Hero himself, being someone a young child can look to in a moment of panic and stress, and find them as someone who is safe and strong and comforting, is exactly what I would want out of an Ultraman. And of course they do end up help the little girl find her mother. But this is when Grime makes his big return and we get the hero shot of the century. As you can see here, the special effects quality isn't super consistent with what was presented at the beginning of the episode, but honestly that's really the worst shot in the episode. I think I can grow big. Omega transforms, and honestly I think it's a pretty cool transformation. It pays good tribute to Ultra 7, Ultraman Max, and the Rise is pretty sick too. And so he grows big, and then we get the Ultra Scope on full display. That's aura, dude. We get one of the high quality composite shots that the Ultra series has to offer. Amazing composite shot. Like, that looks perfect. Monster gore! And we even get a Godzilla -1 reference, which, you know, it's my favorite movie of all time, so kind of appeals to me. And Omega kills Grime with absolute class, dude. Look at that. Doesn't even explode. He just kind of dies. And then the episode ends with the iconic name reveal of Omega. And boom! Slams us right into the opening song. Ultraman Omega does have a really strong start. The CGI sequence at the beginning of the episode is probably the most impressive opening to any Ultraman episode ever. The rest of the episode isn't perfect, but it is very fun, and is a standard Ultraman episode in all of the best ways. Let's compare it to Kamen Rider Zest's first episode. Please watch in a well-lit room a safe distance from the screen. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lights on, so definitely a well-lit room. So basically the episode opens with a crime syndicate who has kidnapped this famous lady, and because she's famous, people care about her and gave them money. But the crime syndicate low-key evil, so they go to kill her, but actually one of them saves her, and it's revealed he's actually a secret agent, code number 7. So he's basically Japanese James Bond. And the episode then breaks out into a gunfight with people actually getting shot. I mean, I can't lie, this is actually pretty sick. I mean, dude, look at that. Like, that's cool. Like, this is just so cool. Having the gunshots create the credits and stuff like that is just so creative. It's such an interesting gimmick that you just, like, would not expect to see in a Kamen Rider show. Now, the visuals are pretty great here, but they aren't super consistent because you get this. And I don't know why it looks like that. And right as things are about to get spicy, it's revealed to be a dream. He was just dreaming that. And it's revealed this guy is actually just a big fan of bootleg James Bond. But his James Bond dreams end up influencing his real life when he goes to save a girl being kidnapped. I guess Kamen Rider likes kids too. And as Baku goes and runs to save the little girl, this creepy nightmare guy shows up. And he sends this yellow Jeep to go kill Baku.
They make me want to merge without looking!
By the way, you do see the kidnapper run away and the mother run up to the little girl, so she is okay. However, there's a twist. There was no one in the car! And Baku unfortunately survives, so this Kamen Rider show has to happen. He's taken to the hospital and it's revealed he's got like all this bad luck. Like he was struck by lightning and he was hit by a meteorite. But while he's just kind of chilling in the hospital, he gets woken up to that guy, which honestly is not in my top 5 faces I would want to wake up to. And the creepy nightmare guy starts shooting at him in the hospital, but unfortunately for Baku, the hospital is empty. No one's there. And while he's running through the hospital, he falls and he ends up in the city. And the creepy nightmare thing is following him around too. Then he starts running down a hallway with a really creepy door at the end of it. And he runs through, and you'll never guess what's on the other side. It's his dream from earlier in the episode. So he realizes that he's in a dream. And the moon turns red and hollow for some reason. I don't really get that part. Despite the fact that he's now Japanese James Bond, he still is unable to fight this nightmare creature. And so naturally he goes through the door that makes you Kamen Rider. And there he meets the real bootleg James Bond, who gives him the power to become Kamen Rider. Which leads us into our first transformation, And honestly, I don't know about that little visual there. I don't know what that's about, but this part's pretty cool. Transforming while being shot at. Good morning, Rider. It really says that. And look how his eye like slowly lights up. I love that so much. And then the episode cuts randomly to outside. I don't know why. And the choreography here in this fight is pretty good, but honestly, this is where Kamen Rider loses me. The set is just so bland. There's absolutely nothing there. Oh! What was that? Wait, look at his calf. Oh, that's disgusting. And they make up for a lack of a set with whatever this is. Whatever, man. And remember how, like, classy the Omega kill was? Kamen Rider decides to do anything but classy. It's like a slot machine kick or something. I don't really get that. And of course, at the end of the episode, Baku wakes up from his dream and finds out he's still Kamen Rider in real life. So overall, this is actually a pretty strong start to the series, I think. While Ultraman Omega's first episode starts with a prestigious CGI battle, Kamen Rider Zezt starts with, honestly, I'd say prestigious gunfight. And the rest of the episode is pretty good too. It introduces a lot of interesting concepts. I really do think the dream thing is pretty interesting. Kamen Rider Zezt is pretty cool himself, but the actual fight is a little underwhelming to me personally. Alright, now that we've looked at the first episodes of the shows, let's see how the quality continues over time. Now, neither show is finished airing, of course, so we're just going to take it at face value with the way things are. So for Ultraman Omega, the show keeps a pretty consistent quality for better or for worse. Essentially, if you remove that CGI sequence from the first episode, that episode is basically the quality you get from there on out. There's not really any high highs and there's not really any low lows. But Ultraman Omega still manages to capture what makes an Ultraman show good for the most part. So let's take a look at one of the most recent episodes of Ultraman Omega as of this recording, just to see the kind of quality we're working with 20 episodes into the show. And here we go. It's a pretty short fight, but just take a look at the visuals here. This looks absolutely fantastic. Like, this is awesome. And while this isn't exactly the norm for Ultraman Omega, this is still something we're getting 20 episodes in and just a random episode of the show. Like, this is the kind of quality we're getting. Like, they still care about the show past episode 1. And now let's take a look at one of the most recent episodes of Kamen Rider Zezt, to see if they have also kept a consistent quality with the first episode. Yeah, so they definitely have not. It has just turned into classic Kamen Rider slop. Good job, guys. Now, there is still one more factor I would like to look into before I finish this video. Let's take a look at the view counts on YouTube for both shows. Here's Ultraman Omega, and here's Kamen Rider Zezt. Oh! Holy embarrassing! Oh, wow! Ooh! Toei clearly has absolutely no idea what they are doing with a worldwide release. Ultraman has been expanding globally for years, and while it has been pretty flawed, it is still far better than whatever they're doing here with Kamen Rider. And it works because of these key things. They gained intrigue first by not locking their show out of America. Then they actually showed care for the fans. They provide worldwide releases for all properties. They make things more accessible to all viewers with dubs. And they extensively promote themselves worldwide. This is opposed to Kamen Rider, which is only going through the effort of releasing one show globally, and has only had one public appearance in America, compared to Ultraman, which has had several. In fact, I've been to one of them. So in conclusion, Ultraman Omega mogs Kamen Rider Zezt. I don't need either show to finish to definitively say this is the case. Kamen Rider Zezt is definitely taking steps in the right direction compared to other Kamen Rider shows. It does have better promotion for one. I mean, while compared to Ultraman, the global expansion is far weaker, it still is happening. And I did watch the producer interview. There is clear care being put into the show. But it doesn't matter the creative head at the helm. At the end of the day, the real creative head is Toei themselves. And they will always pick quantity over quality any day of the week. And while I may not really watch Kamen Rider, and I'm definitely not going to finish Kamen Rider Zezt, I hear no voices convincing me otherwise in what I've said here today. Kamen Rider shows just never have that moment, or that episode like Ultraman does. Because even in the worst of Ultraman shows, there is innovation at every corner. Trigger pushed boundaries with its camera work. Ultraman Decker was the first show to use the LED volume stage, and Ultraman Arc had one of the best fights in the franchise alongside constant amazing visuals throughout. Kamen Rider Zezt may have clear creativity, but it still shares all the pitfalls that Rider has from it. Ultraman simply will always mog Kamen Rider. The only exception that I could possibly think of is Shin Kamen Rider. I do like Shin Kamen Rider more than Shin Ultraman, if I'm being honest. And the only reason Shin Kamen Rider works is because it does everything Modern Rider doesn't. It captures the style of the original while also being completely innovative in every way in terms of what's on screen. Well, that's all for now. If you guys would like to see me do another video like this at some point, let me know. I'll compare a different franchise to Ultraman next time if I do. And of course, I would be remiss to not mention my beautiful channel members. Alright, first I'd like to thank my mini members, Gomzilla and Kamada Kizzle, and my advanced members, Jake Hambrick, Lucas the Unbelievable, and Mr. Red Hudson. This has been GPTV. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.